Here we are. It's the pot.
It's the pasta
Welcome,
sauce.
everybody, to In the Buff. I'm Chris, and we've got Scott, John, and Cody here today.
Look at this energy. Where was this during the game?
It was seizing in the captain's chair.
I guess.
He was staying in character. Miles is a very stoic.
Miles is
Hero.
very stoic, yes.
Let's start off with comments here real quick, so we don't waste too much time. I think we got a lot to talk about today. On Final Fantasy X Waka Celestial Weapon Guide World Champion video by Zinkalix. Man, the trick for Auroch reel saved my life. Thank you. You're welcome, Zinkalix.
Yeah.
I don't know if I collaborated with you on that, or if I came up with that strategy on my own.
Which one?
The World Champion stuff.
No, we talked about it. I helped you find the faster ways to get through the games.
Fantastic. Final Fantasy X Kamari Celestial Weapon Guide Spiritlands video. Peaches Fry. Can't get the treasure chest to appear at all. None of the rocks are glowing at all. People comment on that video a lot with this problem. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
The cutscene that introduces you to the Thunder Plane literally has the Cactar Stone glowing in the cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
What's the deal?
Maybe they already got it?
So, something that people can do is, as they're running around, they'll accidentally make them glow, which means they probably just need to go to the area. But besides that, like, every couple of minutes it changes to a new random stone. So really, they could just, like, if that doesn't work, they just stand by one stone for, like, 10 minutes and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
None of them are watching this video, so you saying that doesn't help.
Well, the problem is they also didn't watch our video for the guide because we mentioned this in the guide.
Right.
Literally, people just click on the video to complain and don't watch the video. In the Buff episode 21, Into the Freezer, Colon Sausages coming in hot, saying this is my workshop review for the podcast.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Serious business here. We got our first Yelp.
Okay.
Ooh.
The podcast is funny, very entertaining, and helps me through work.
Oh.
The thing I don't like
Uh-oh.
is that I have to wait an entire week for a new episode. God damn, Colon Sausages coming in with the sneak attack.
Dude.
Holy shit.
Dude.
I prepared myself for degradation, and then I was lifted up. Or some shit. I don't know. I'm tired, okay?
Fancy words.
Final Fantasy X Kamari Celestial Weapon Guide Spiritlands video from Stebby. My love-hate relationship with this game is next level.
Oh.
Ooh.
I
What do
like
you
that
hate
one.
about Final Fantasy X, John?
You can hate that game?
Right.
Next comment. Final Fantasy X Tita's Celestial Weapon Guide Galabalg video. Jesse White. Is there a prize for dodging balloons and hitting birds? I think more people would earn it. That wasn't his comment. I added that little anecdote there.
Oh, he's
myself.
saying, like a flip. You're
Because
supposed to
he's-
dodge the
because
birds
he's garbage
and hit
at
the
the game.
balloons.
Yeah.
And he's dodging the balloons and the birds. What a fucking retard.
In the Bob episode 22, Tales of Strange History, we got our perennial friend, Monsicle God, commenting, although this
Just
isn't
gave her the full name? Oh, I guess it's in the comment, huh?
It's her username.
Well, we got a haiku here.
You were the one who doxed her, really.
Was it me? Well, this is a bit of a teaser for something that might occur in Kyle's game.
May I read? I'm the poet.
No.
Damn.
A brave warrior, betrayed and left for dead, seeks justice again.
What could it mean?
What could it mean?
Is this, Monty, is this your character name?
Spooky.
Is that going to be the character name? Or is this...
Hashimoto Kane.
Oh.
Is that the name of the character?
Oh, it is.
Who
Ooh.
could it be?
Who are you?
Intriguing.
Who?
Mystery. Drama. Suspense. Tension. Resolution.
Ken Shenhan?
Denouement. Conclusion.
Orgasm.
Release.
Epilogue?
Well,
In
great.
the Buff, episode 22, Tales of Strange History,
A
Kyle.
little bit of workshop from Kyle for you, Chris.
Oh.
Chris,
Yeah.
you showed none of the pictures we gave you. Disappoint.
What's the fucking deal?
Do you have a rebuttal against that at all?
Yes. So, first off, Kyle, I couldn't get your enemy picture to work. Because
Yeah, fuck you, Kyle.
It was like a Google link. You didn't put an image link or download in the Discord.
Why couldn't you click the link, right-click, save the image?
I tried that. I tried everything that I thought I could.
Why not snipping tool?
God damn, boy.
I'm an idiot. Okay? Secondly, I did include... so if you were to go onto my computer and go to the track itself, you would find that I did include the DVD rack picture. I put the image...
Thumbnail
above it.
video, yeah, on
under it, because it shows the top layer.
Yeah.
That's a rookie mistake there.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
you're just going to have to learn.
It happens to the best of us,
I'm having troubles with my mouse. I think it's time to get a new one.
It happens to the best of us, and you're clearly
Poor
not...
Craftsman blames his tools.
Have you seen his laptop? It's
Have you seen
absolute
mine?
Dog shit.
You know, we've got some YouTube money. Why don't we buy some new equipment?
We really should.
Get him a new mouse.
Get me a new everything.
No, I just won a shit ton of money off of a lottery ticket I won.
Yeah,
buy yourself your own damn laptop. Stop mooching off the company.
Wow, that was weird. I could see the right there.
Nice. Solid. So,
Guys, what are we talking about today?
I don't even know. I don't want to record.
Oh.
I have bad news.
oh God.
We're 7 minutes in.
God.
What are we talking about?
So guys.
Oh yeah, game. So we just had Kyle and Cody's game.
Yep.
And let me just say, Kyle, I'm calling you out. I know you're gonna hear this. We've been in your space game for
Like a year and a half.
longer than that. A while. We haven't had a single fucking ship fight. We just had a ship fight in Cody's game.
We just had a ship fight that fucking socked my rocks off.
Excuse me?
It sucked your rocks off.
At least twice.
That was so wacky and fun, and I felt like for a brief moment Tybalt was in an action movie.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
I'd say less action, more horror at what we had to fight.
Well, yeah, we'll have to start kind of from the beginning of the session if we want to give all the context.
Yeah.
And where did the session begin?
The session began where the last one ended.
Makes
with
sense.
the intrepid hero. This is called vamping, gentlemen.
Right.
Where you don't know what you're going to say, so you just say things you don't really know where it's going.
Right.
I do that all the time.
It's to avoid dead air.
No, it's only vamping if you're going to
It's
end
like
up somewhere.
autopilot.
Oh yeah, I only vamp. I never conclude.
Yes.
So you guys made it onto
That's
this.
why the women love you.
You guys made it onto this ship that the GIF crew of the Defiance had been looking for here in the far reaches of the Sea of Stars. And you guys go about searching the ship for clues. There isn't any crew anywhere, and that's weird because there should be.
You know?
There's just these weird red dark puddles.
We find like a signs of struggle on the above decks, and we're like, well, I guess we go deeper. That's the only way forward. Also, we found a garish vehicle covered with a tarp, and it was painted to be very vibrant and gross looking.
It was like a 2-person speeder bike.
Right.
Yeah,
Kind of a small spelljammer.
but like a boat.
Yeah. And so we proceed down. First thing we bump into, you go for it.
So the guys go down to the second level of the ship. They go down this kind of rickety staircase, and they hear this musical tune start playing as they head down. It's like the Jack in the Box theme. We'll play it right now. Hopefully. And you guys are all like, nope,
No.
not doing this. I don't want to be here.
Something bad's happening.
And on the second level of the boat, we come across our first real encounter with whatever the fuck these are. The Conclave of Mirrors.
Well, hold on. Before, maybe I'm just getting it mixed up in my head. This is a better storytelling, I feel. So we kind of break up into a couple pairs, into a couple groups. And one group goes toward the back of the ship, while Reese stays at the front of the ship and listens through a door. And he hears this through the door. And we're like, what is that?
What are you?
Well, the back group goes and sees a figure hunched over and like noises of like
Full fucking Resident Evil 1
God.
zombie
reveal.
eating a corpse.
And yeah, what they see is demon space clowns. And I basically showed them pictures of, I believe it's killer clowns from outer space, which I think is the primary inspiration for space clowns in Spelljammer. But it's just disgusting.
That's in the book.
Yeah, space
Yo,
clowns.
What the
Shit.
fuck?
I thought you were just vamping.
No,
that.
I made that up. Well, I made up a lot of their abilities. I kind of reskinned some spells, but like the main theme behind the Conclave of Mirrors is like mirrors and reflections, and so I reskinned a lot of spells to kind of fit that. For example, like mirror image.
Sure.
Instead of like 3 fuzzy phantasms appearing like speed lines in anime, I had the clowns jump into, like, summon 3 mirrors and jump into the mirrors and like
a
run
funhouse.
around like a funhouse, yeah, and like run around and like if you hit wrong, you broke the mirrors or whatever. I had one where they hit a character with a mirror and it trapped them
Yeah.
in the mirror, and then they started breaking the mirror to try and like kill the
What
person.
would have happened?
They would have died. That was just a reskinned Earthen Grasp.
Right.
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry, we talked about like the mirror mazes and stuff. Can I just say that I could watch little kids try to run through mirror mazes. It is therapeutic.
You saying that just now, this is totally random. You saying that just now reminded me of the game Layers of Fear. Do you remember that part in Layers of Fear where you get to a certain point and there's a trigger where it triggers a little girl to run and bump her head into the wall?
You showed me the video of the dude that
And you could like trigger a bunch of them so they're like
and like the bounce back from them hitting is amazing.
Oh,
it's the greatest
incredible.
thing.
God.
I love that.
That's the best thing in the world.
Anyway, clowns, huh?
We were getting ahead of ourselves
Yeah.
here. So John hears these squeaky shoes. That's, by the way, that's in the stat block.
Yeah.
They have a passive ability called Squeaky Shoes, and
What?
where they cannot sneak up on somebody within 30 feet because their shoes are too squeaky.
That's
So
amazing.
stupid.
It's so
God.
stupid, and that was, like, this whole thing up to that first combat was just a balance between disgusting horror and just funhouse comedy.
I
Hey.
think comedy and horror go so well together because of things like this, where
Yeah.
they both rely on a subversion of expectation,
Yeah.
and they just work so well.
Imagine the world where like we see the bunch of them like in front of us, and they're like slowly walking towards us, and you hear squeaky, 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 as like one runs up to you.
Right. So, Mr. Kelp, who is the crew member that went with the party, he, like, confronts the clown that's chomping on this body at the end of this hallway. And he has a big old blunderbuss, and the clown, like, notices him behind him, and he starts running towards him, and Kelp shoots him with the blunderbuss, and it shatters the clown. It was like an illusion.
Oh,
Okay.
that's what happened.
Yep.
I
Oh,
see.
you threw us so far off our game because
See-
I was wondering why none of the other ones shattered.
Yeah, I was just thinking that's what would happen when we killed them.
No, it was an illusion to trick you guys to going down that hallway.
Right.
But nobody was going to, so I had Kelp do it.
Sure.
And then Kelp, because he's tiny, and the blunderbuss,
Isn't.
the blunderbuss
I'll let you guys, the audience, figure out what's going to happen. Chris, I want you to find that scene and give us that 3-second clip.
Excuse me?
In Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, Pirates of the yeah, gotcha.
You could put in 3 seconds. And
Yeah,
it
we won't get hit with that.
Desensitize or demonetize. Anyway,
Chris is giving us a stink eye over there.
I was thinking, I'm genuinely like, what scene?
Are
the
you
fucking
shitting me?
scene of the little person
Well-
in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh!
Jesus
Shit, I'm an idiot.
Christ.
So Kelp gets thrown off his feet and down the cargo hold to the bottom deck. He gonks himself on a crate, knocks himself out cold.
And Miles is like, nah, can't have that, so I jump in after him.
Yep.
Reese still has his ear to this door, trying to figure out what the fuck is behind it.
So for the next, I'd say, I don't know, hour of our life, our adventuring party has, we are based in reality. You know, we are people. I have a hammer. Like, he casts spells, he does stuff. We are fighting Looney Tunes
Reality.
characters
Yeah.
for the next hour. And eventually, through a bunch of shenaniganry, we end up defeating all of them. But during the fracas, we get a call on our sending stone from the other ship.
Basically a radio.
And they're
Yeah.
like, oh god, they're coming in, their ship is coming in, they're moving into attack position, they're gonna ram.
It was a trap.
We're like, okay.
Oh, I wish you would have said that. It's a trap!
You know, Tibble, in the moment, is like, we're on a ship. We can pilot it. So, we need everybody on deck. We get on the guns. Miles, you go get in the pilot seat. And we get into attack position against the people who are the clowns, who are about to ram our hippo people.
And we can't have that. Clowns should not be ramming hippo people.
We straight up have a ship-to-ship fight. And he fucking plays synth Pirates of the Caribbean music.
Dude, it was awesome.
It was incredible.
I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. Sparrow.
I like,
Where is the rum gone?
like, my part was so hands off in that fight because I'm just sitting and seizing in the captain's chair because I'm psionically I'm using my mind to pilot the thing.
And Tybalt and Reese get on the Gatling guns while
Dude, we had such a bonding experience.
our clerics get on the big cannon.
Yeah. It's kind of like when like the guy in Pacific Rim when the dude is trying to solo man the Titan and he's like nose bleeding and all that.
That's what you were imagining?
A little bit, yeah.
Another good example would be when Neo's jacked off into the Matrix, and he's like getting punched or whatever, and it cuts back to the real world, and he's like moving around,
Yeah,
just shaking. I had so much fun.
I could tell.
Like, not only just like the ship battle, because I like had no idea what the rules were for ship battle. I had no clue that you guys were going to pilot the space galleon. I thought you guys were going to like pile into the small craft that the space clowns brought, and you're gonna fly back to the gift ship and have the battle there. But no, you guys surprised me, and we just had to roll with it at the time. It was so frenetic and high octane.
Fantastic.
I want you to know, Cody, that we got the Mayday call, and it was like, everybody get back here. Scott and I looked at each other, and at that glance, we both knew we're not leaving.
We're not
this ship.
we had to get the Miles ships out.
Even better, I was specifically waiting to issue Tybalt's orders when it was my turn.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to my turn, I'm like, everybody on deck!
How's it coming along, Miles? I got her, Captain! Ah!
I'm inside her!
And you guys are just just blowing holes into this hammerhead ship, and then you're trying to lead it away from the gift ship so that it can circle back around and shoot its great cannon at it.
I gotta ask, are these your ship designs?
No, these are from Spelljammer.
Okay.
Hammerhead ship as in, it's like a hammerhead shark.
Yeah.
As a giant ship. It's awesome.
It ambushed the gift ship because it was underwater.
Oh my god, was
and
it
then
really?
it surfaced.
That's amazing.
Dude! That is so awesome.
But then another just crazy maneuver. Miles in the spelljamming helm. He's like, we're going airborne, guys. And he just flies up into the sky out of the ocean, and then the hammerhead follows it. And now they're in the sky in these flying ships fighting each other.
Oh my god.
And that's when our hippo captain radios me up and is like, keep her on the course. We're gonna charge up the big old cannon. And it's just so lovely. I love it so much.
And I got I had these what would you call them? Layout boards.
Sure,
it's
sure.
it's like you mentioned in cutouts. It's kind of like FTL, where I have the ship layouts on these boards, and I have the different decks, and we had to. And there were too many decks, and we had all these different platforms showing the different levels, and people were jumping from different levels and jumping from the main deck.
Clowns started boarding our ship from their
That's
hammerhead
how
ship.
fucking wild this got. Cannibal Oh, did we tell them they were cannibals?
Oh yeah, these are cannibal clowns, by the way.
That could be a band.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cannibal clowns on the hammerhead.
God.
Yeah, there you go.
And then round 2 started once we actually got up top and manned the guns. Because, like, he was telling us, Hippo Captain was telling us what to do. But, like, it looked like it was a terrible situation for them to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, we just come out. And, like, Pirates of the Caribbean was, like, probably the perfect music to play. Because, like, we all, like, I never felt our team have that level of synergy.
Yeah, everybody had their position. You guys were all, like, just working in sync.
The clowns start boarding our ship, so we turn the Gatlings to them and start just gunning them down.
And, like, even then, like, we even had, like, some wacky ways to take them out.
Yeah.
Like, there was one that goes to jump across, and I'm like, nope. And then he just falls down slowly.
Because
He uses a spell to remove his momentum. He uses Featherfall. And so while he's jumping, the guy's like, oh! And stands there like a Looney Tunes character and then falls.
I had so much fun flavoring those clowns to be just horrific and goofy.
Yeah.
Like, all of their attacks and abilities were just, like, stereotypical Funhouse clown things to do. Like, they had, like, electric buzzers on their hands and they went to shake people's hands, and, like, they had, like, squirt flowers that shot poison and, like, ray guns that, you know,
That do normal things.
yeah.
Do what you expect it to do.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
well, okay. So we know, like, Winnie the Pooh it has entered the public domain. There's a horror movie coming out about Winnie the Pooh.
Mm-hmm.
So Mickey Mouse and those characters will soon enter the public domain. So I'm just imagining, like, a goofy horror film where he's like, gosh, guys, I'm gonna murder you.
He just like, oh man, I imagine you go and hide in the closet, and then you just hear like real close, yuck.
You walk in and he's, like, butchering a body. He's like,
That's not goofy.
That was not really.
Also, Cody kept playing clown, like, horrifying clown laughing noises.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you did the ripperoo noise.
Yep. It was surprisingly difficult to find maniacal clown laughter sound bits.
You succeeded.
Yeah.
The big thing about the battle, though, was I had positioned these big mirrors around the battle arena. And what the clowns could do was they could jump into the mirrors and run around and come out of different mirrors. And so, you know, when one of them was, like, having difficulties or they're getting, you know, double teamed or whatever, they'd, like, jump into a nearby mirror and run out to another one and suddenly get the drop on somebody who was unaware. At one point, like, Tybalt, Scott's character, and another one of the NPCs was fighting 2 clowns, and then all of a sudden there's 4 clowns in this, like, tiny hallway around them. It's so much fun.
It was wonderful.
I really had the idea. I'm like, we got here because you put some sort of portable space in a portable space, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I want to just jump in one of these mirrors, land where everybody else is. Reese is a strong kid right now. So he grabs that mirror, fucking throws it across the room into the other one, and it just fucking opens this void. I'm like,
What would have happened? Anything?
That rule doesn't work in the astral plane.
okay.
So, in fact, extra-dimensional spaces can't exist in the astral plane.
I'm curious what would have happened. You don't have to tell us if we had fight clowns again. What would have happened if we had broken all the mirrors while they were inside them?
They wouldn't have been able to get out on the ship. Their ship had mirrors, and they would have been...
So, is it like in Doctor Strange where they jump in the mirror and they're in the mirror dimension now?
You know, it's kind of wibbly-wobbly.
But also,
with the
like,
logic.
that makes so much more sense for them, because then, like, 2 of them just show up on the ship, and then pull out a mirror, and you just watch an army of them come out from their ship.
Yeah.
And, like, another thing was, when we got to round 2, and we got to the ship-to-ship battle, they, to, like, get boarding lines, they pulled, like, giant, long stretches of handkerchiefs out of their pockets and threw, like boarding lines,
So
and then
silly.
And then to jump the gap between the ships, they got comical umbrellas out and, like, floated over.
That's another thing that we really need to hit hard. So the only evidence we saw that there were enemies aboard is that 1-2-person speeder on top. But clearly a shitload of clowns had just piled into this 2-person speeder.
Yeah. God.
And then at the end of the battle, you guys, you didn't have to kill all of the clowns to win the combat.
We certainly tried.
You just had to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And then once a certain number of rounds went by, the Defiance, the gift ship, turned around and leveled its great bombard cannon and ripped the Hammerhead shark ship in half.
Cody literally took the cutout we had that the clowns were jumping from and ripped it in half and tore it up and threw it away.
How long did it take you to make that cutout?
Once I had an idea about how I wanted to do it, I could probably knock one of those out in 20, 30 minutes.
The first one took him 10 hours.
It took you 1% of that time to rip it in half.
Yeah. Well, I knew you were, not using this anymore.
That was very fun.
That was incredible.
So fun.
And we ended the night with a raucous celebration.
Yeah.
And nobody got laid.
We became
Are you?
parts of the we became parts of the crew.
Yeah.
By having a fake court martial.
It was weird. It was incredible.
It was so good.
They held like a theater production where the captain pretended to be a judge, and like the first mate was there being like reading the offenses.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my god, what's the greatest offense? Oh, they fraternized with the crew of the Defiance. and the captain of the Defiance is like, those rascals. He throws off his powdered wig and stomps on it in frustration. And then they desperately try to throw us overboard as part of this, mock trial. They throw us overboard in this big sack and drop us into the ocean. But then the astral sea only goes up to our waists. So they're like, they're not drowning, Captain. They're like, oh, the sea has rejected our pleas of execution.
And so that was how they got introduced as new members of the crew. And then there was a big party.
Very silly, very fun.
So during that party, Reese got shit-faced. And then he used one of his spells at 3rd level to try to be impressive. Cody, what would have happened if I shot every single crew member in the face?
Oh, they would have been...
They would beat the shit out of him?
No, injuries like that, they happen from time to time. That's why they've got Arthur Brooks Dodgley there as a scholar and surgeon. So he would have been able to patch him up, and then they would have gotten back to carousing.
Well, that was wonderful.
I even had a little secret surprise, a little multimedia project that I had for that little party.
Yes, of course.
That's true.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't play it.
Hi, this is the editor. I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. If you'd like to listen to the sea shanty I recorded, all for me Space Grog, I've posted a link in the description of the video. Alright, back to the episode.
The first time we heard it, because we heard it right before we started recording this, the first time I heard it, I'm like, oh, he probably just, ripped that off of YouTube or something. And then, we listened to it again, I'm like, wait a minute. That's your voice.
That's why I was laughing so much, is because it was fucking Cody singing.
Didn't realize.
And he literally layered himself on top of each other in different voices so that it sounded like a bunch of people singing shanties. And it was like, you nailed it. It sounded like a bunch of people who weren't quite musicians singing shanties, and they were off time, and it reminded me so much of Assassin's Creed 4 when it sounds like a bunch of people who are just having a good time singing shanties.
And not only did I have to record myself singing, I think I recorded myself 8 different times all the way through that song. Doing different voices, doing a Geth voice, and doing a voice like this, and doing a pirate voice like this.
It sounds exactly the same.
Yeah. And,
would you like a cough drop?
My throat is a little ravaged. Not only because of tonight, but because last night I decided, you know what, I could eat an entire family-sized bag of salt and vinegar chips. And my mouth is just lacerated.
But you got them down.
Oh, I ate them all, yeah.
You haven't done it enough.
Yeah.
It's like a callus.
Yeah.
Well,
actually, it's weird that you say that. For me, last night, I was helping make mixed drinks at my brother's house, and I accidentally made one really sour.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't taste it. But everybody else, winced and, was like, whoa, dude, you need to calm down. I'm like, maybe I've had too many sour things from when I was a kid. Because, I straight-faced it. I had no problem with it. I tasted a small hint of sour.
You just got some dead zones.
I think I have dead zones in my taste buds.
You made the Warheads shot. is what
I
you did.
hate warheads.
Yeah, it's a little too one-sided. Like, if it was a bit more of... I guess that's kind of the point. Is it just like a big shock
Mhm.
Yeah.
of sour, and then it just kind of nothing?
There's not... Like, I feel, with some, like, there's some spicy sauces, and you get that hit of, like, but then you're like,
Mhm.
that's delicious.
Yeah. The last thing I want to say is I wanted a sea shanty for this little celebration. The problem is there are surprisingly few sea shanties that directly reference specific details about my D&D campaign out there.
Really?
Right.
I couldn't find any, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
God, that's...
So you lied when you said there's a very few.
Very few, basically zero.
Basically zero.
Like, I couldn't look at the whole category of sea shanties,
Right.
which is already pretty niche.
Yeah.
So I just kind of had to... I'm like, all right, I guess I'll do it myself.
Fine.
And that's
you
the-
forced my hand.
You forced my hand. I guess I'll write lyrics to a sea shanty and sing them myself.
Wait, you wrote them too? You did all of it?
Wow.
Why are you here?
It's
You're wasted talent.
it's based on a previous sea shanty, but I changed the lyrics around to reference details about the game, like spending dust or sailing on the Starry Ocean.
Yeah,
You know what?
I caught the Starry Ocean bit.
I could probably just give you me singing as something you could put in the podcast. I could
Sure.
remove the background music. It would be less enjoyable, less than it already is. But
Fair.
Just give me like a metronome
Play it at
for
like
the beat.
2 times speed. So he's like,
so that was the game. We had a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I think this was definitely a banner session.
I've had a headache from having so much fun all night. I didn't expect, man, when we got on that ship and it was a horror movie, and then suddenly it was like, this ain't no fucking horror movie.
Oh, dude, it basically also ended with the one-liner too.
Yeah. So at one point, one of the clowns boarded the ship, and they were like harassing Reese and I up on the Gatling guns, and Reese manages to like get one off the side. He's holding on for dear life, and he looks at it, and he's like, "You go."
He's like, well, mate, you want to hear a joke? And it's just like holding on for dear life. He's like, why don't cannibals eat clowns?
And Tipple's just like, they taste funny.
And then we don't even laugh or anything. I'm just like, he gets it.
And then you cast Tasha's hideous laughter.
Yeah.
And incapacitated the clown, and he fell hundreds of feet to the ocean below. He's just
Laughing his ass off.
Yeah, it's like...
I love that.
What an incredible time.
Yes.
See, Cody, you enabled a kryptonite of mine that wasn't really utilized. Scott just made a noise that gets me every fucking time. That horn honking noise, man, that is just a weight on my heart.
This is interesting, though. I'm probably only making this parallel because I just finished Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
So in Mass Effect 3, there's a DLC called the Citadel DLC.
Mm-hmm.
And on that DLC, the whole fucking tone of the game shifts wildly
Yeah.
to that of an 80s action movie with it's really tongue-in-cheek and silly. And it feels like that's what this is. We are going to leave the Astral Sea, and like I'm just imagining us like standing there covered in confetti, like holding a balloon in the normal world. Okay, snake people. Right.
He's
Yeah,
gonna get
we're
back, and he's
fighting
gonna go
giant
take
snakes.
a step, and he's just gonna fall on his fucking face.
You're just, in the Astral Sea, you could be wearing, chrome shades, driving your cyber Lorian through the multiverse, listen to synthwave, and then you get back to boring old medieval England.
And it's going to be like when Ralph was dropping Ralph is my Mass Effect character. Ralph was dropping one-liners with his buddies, like hanging out with Garrus, calling him a jerk-off, and then we gotta kill these Reapers.
Oh, by the way, Earth is being invaded.
Yeah. Also, every time there was a fucking load screen on the Citadel, I saw Earth burning. And it's like, then it cuts to us having a wacky adventure. Oh, man.
Oh, dude, I can
man.
imagine our first moment back to the material flight is gonna be like, we're all breathing heavily, and Reese is just like, wow. And then it just hard cuts to the credits, and you start hearing the synth Pirates of the Caribbean again.
Yes.
Oh, man. I don't know what's gonna happen after, like, in the next session. We're going to some new cyberpunk city. That's where we stopped, is we're heading to this new cyberpunk city, and we gotta find Sven and Balkner.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess, Chris, your character is retiring here?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he piloted the ship, like something in his brain was just like, this. Fuck archaeology in my life's work. This is what I want to do.
Wait, you're not gonna go meet the Rotassin people?
I mean, he's gonna be in the Astral Sea. He's gonna be able to, but like, he's mostly gonna be.
He's got to have a day job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna be a spelljammer now.
So we're getting a new Chris.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll just go find Finn that fast and you'll be Sven
Maybe.
next session.
Chris does have a character in mind.
Yeah.
I have an idea about when he'll be
Are you a hippo?
recruited.
Okay.
I wonder, if we find Sven and Balkner, does Andy play two characters for a little bit?
Yeah, we gotta take Elizabeth home.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Also, what is this game that Andy's playing with Elizabeth or Elizabeth?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm scared.
I asked him. I heard him say Elizabeth. I'm like, oh, Elizabeth or Elizabeth? And he's like, Elizabeth. Again.
There's been 2 times, that's the second one, that I've heard him say Elizabeth. And then independently, out of the game, I've been like, so Andy, it's like Elizabeth or Elizabeth, what is it? He's like, it's Elizabeth. So I don't fucking know what to think.
And then, like, after the second time, after I confirmed tonight, and then I'm like, are you sure you're saying it right? He just moved on. He didn't acknowledge it. Which is like, that's that game that I know when Andy's trying to fuck with me, that's the game that he plays.
Yep. So it's Chris's corner, huh?
Yeah.
So it's been a pretty weird session, all things considered, with clowns and killer
He
cannibal
already
clowns.
segued.
Yeah.
You don't have to segue.
Well,
He's
my-
driving
I-
back.
He's
I have a weird corner.
He doesn't
I have
know
a
what
weird
vamping is,
corner,
but he
right?
thinks
I have
he is.
a weird
That's where
corner.
you suck blood, right?
It's
No, that's a vampire.
Incredible.
No.
guys.
That's the guy who does the rules for a baseball game.
No. You're thinking of.
No, the guy that makes he's like he can't eat meat, right? He doesn't.
huh?
Never mind.
I'm actually struggling to think of the word.
I'm eunuch?
Vegetarian?
That's it.
Oh, vegetarian. I'm gonna pretend like the joke didn't fall flat.
No. You're thinking of the bad guy from Harry Potter 5. That, like, fascist teacher. Umbridge. Instead of umpire.
Oh,
Chris's corner, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Let's-
guys,
Let's just go.
let's just move on.
Chris, we need an actual
So
transition again.
that was rough.
here's the thing, right? Something weird happened to me this week. And so I know we're all about friendly competition. So I wanted to tell my story, and then I wanted to vote on which one of you had a weird story.
Hold on a second. You're telling
Weirdest
me.
story.
Hold on.
Okay.
Just real quick. Your corner
Yeah.
is you're going to tell us a story and then be like, hey, you guys tell a story.
I'll crown a winner.
I would also like to point out, you mentioned friendly competition, like mine and Cody's friendship almost didn't get ruined over a friendly competition.
Incredible.
Have we talked about that on the podcast?
We have not.
No.
Well, maybe that'll be our story.
We briefly touched on it in episode 2 or 1 when you were talking about getting the Halo skull.
Oh,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So I went to Casano's a couple days ago.
For
right?
those who don't know, that's a pizza place. I don't know how international Casano's is, to be
Hey.
honest.
Time out.
I don't know how international our audience is.
Time out. What stories are we doing again?
Like weird shit. It's strange.
Like
Just-
supernatural?
Like, why is this
No.
happening to me?
Like
Nothing ever happens to me.
something that you're just like, huh?
Okay,
something
tell the
that happened to
story.
you.
Tell the
something,
story.
whatever. So I went to Casano's a couple days ago, right? And like I went inside and paid and got my pizza after I ordered it online. So there's like 20 or so older women in the place at the front just talking with each other, right? I'm like, whatever, it's fine. Who cares? I go up to pay for my pizza, and the woman running the register, one, I believe she was pregnant. Two, she must have had a baby. The reason I know this...
In that order, or...
Well, that's hopefully the order that she goes in.
The reason I know this is because her shirt was up, so you could see her extended belly, and she...
Distended belly is the word.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Incredible.
Distended belly.
I wouldn't have known.
And she is pumping.
Oh, okay. Her belly?
Yes.
No.
That's not right.
That's hot.
Her... No, it was weird, dude. It was weird. It was weird. They were like half full, the bottles. And I was just like, here you go. She was like, do you need to order something? And I'm just like,
No, I'm
I
fine.
already ordered. I ordered, man.
Wait, hold
You
on.
should have been like,
This is the clerk?
This is the clerk.
While she's working.
While she's working.
Dude, talk about being overclocked.
Nice.
Like, I was just like, why? I was just like, why? Why is this happening? This is so weird. This shouldn't happen. This is so weird.
You know, that's just the world we're living in. I've got a friend who...
You're a misogynist.
It was very odd the first time I saw this, but we were just out to dinner.
I think it'd be weird if a man was doing it. So you're out to dinner with a friend.
I was out to dinner with a bunch of friends. There was about maybe 10 of us there.
Okay.
Oh, wow, that was a
And
lot.
she had brought her newborn baby.
Okay.
And just right there at the dinner table, in the middle of the restaurant, just starts breastfeeding.
Does she at least have like a blanket? That's weird.
Yeah. I'm like,
But if
oh.
you say anything, then you're the bad guy.
I'm gonna say it right now. You can do that as long as you have that privacy thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can do whatever the fuck you want as long as you understand public nudity is illegal.
Except in LA.
Is it really?
You are allowed to be fully nude as long as you have something to put on public property to sit on. So like a blanket or a towel.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just, it was an odd experience. I'm like, oh, those are your tits. And I hadn't seen them before, but now I have.
Were you just like, nice?
But I'm like,
lucky baby.
I guess, this is the progressive world that we all aspire to be in. It's here, baby.
I guess.
I would like to add, I'm pro breastfeeding and doing it wherever you are. But yeah, covering up or lactation rooms do exist.
If you're allowed to do that, then I should be able to piss wherever the fuck I want to.
As long as you're pissing into the baby's mouth.
Wait.
Sure.
No,
Hold on.
or a bottle.
There has to be some sort of sustenance going on.
Yeah.
Is that a problem? I already do that. Not the baby mouth.
Here's the
That
thing.
we had a very different end to
Here's
this
the thing.
conversation.
I've talked about this in the podcast. I'm made wildly uncomfortable by public nudity.
Mhm.
I don't like it. So it's not even a question of no, you shouldn't do that. Just
Shows you what kind of friend I am, because I've flashed him like at least 4 times.
use a privacy blanket for the fucking baby's sake, even.
You don't want it getting embarrassed.
Yeah.
You don't want those pictures coming out when it's still underage.
Oh God,
man.
Cody, Jesus, stop it. Ugh,
I don't even know what I meant by that.
I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah.
So this was your friend.
Yeah, I'd known her for 8 years.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a 8 out of 10 on the weirdness factor.
That was just an
I
offhand
didn't know
comment I
we
made.
were-
Congratulations,
Oh,
me.
oh,
I didn't know we were
okay.
grading. Ah, fuck.
I'm gonna get a low score.
Ah, fuck.
The problem is you've probably shared all of the weird stuff that's ever happened to you on the
Yeah,
podcast.
I have.
Like your fever dreams and your ghost stories
I don't have any
and
ghost
your
stories.
demon sightings.
Do you just know like a weird story?
I know plenty of weird stories. One time, this guy named Albert Fish stuck things up inside his grundle, like
his
pins.
perineum. Yeah, he really got off on that.
And
He
there's
was-
a urban legend that when they gave him the chair, he shot sparks out of his eyes because there was so much shit up in his grundle, like metal pins.
We kind of skipped some steps there. Why was he being put to death?
Because he killed and apparently didn't fuck, but did eat Grace Budd.
Which was a child.
Oh, I thought that was like a relative to Air Bud.
It was, actually.
Oh my.
He was a fucking deviant. Want to hear something really fucking
the werewolf
disgusting?
of Wisteria.
Here's something really disgusting. He would shove rose stems into his urethra, thorns and all.
Sounding.
And he loved it. He was probably the horniest person I've ever heard about.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
He loved it. And
he loved eating children.
he had this game that he played with. He had kids, I think, or he hung around kids.
He had a thing with kids.
And he had a game called, I don't know, I didn't do the research because I didn't know this was going to happen. He had a game, and basically, I think it was like something, how many hands up? Like duck, how many hands up? Something like that. And basically the goal of the game was to get the kids to spank him.
Yeah.
Fucked up. And he wrote the letter. In fact, look it up. I'm going to read the fucking letter. All children under 12 were sold to the butcher. John stayed there so long he acquired a taste for human flesh. Several times every day and night he spanked them. Hong Kong, China.
If I just give you a 9 now, can we stop?
Yeah.
Thank you. Honestly, can we cut out most of that? Because I felt like this was a really good
am.
episode, and I don't want to...
I am.
Okay.
Speed it up.
I don't want this podcast ruined.
Great.
Well,
It's
you know
your
what?
fault.
By damn Albert Fish
Well,
again.
you know what? Then let's move on
Not
to
again.
my opportunity. Wait, it was ruined before?
You know. When hasn't he ruined
Not the first time old Albie ruined something.
So,
Won't be the last.
Yeah.
I've shared this really weird experience with you guys before.
Okay.
Cody, maybe not you.
Okay.
But Chris and Scott definitely. Before I became a supervisor, I was a lead. And there was an associate that on my way into our shipping dock office was just standing on their lift, waiting. Nobody had talked to them. I thought, like, oh, they need help with something, right? And I go up to him, and I'm like, hey, is everything okay? And he looks at me, dead in the eyes. He looks at me dead in the eyes, and he's like, I shit my pants. And I'm like, oh, wow. Holy crap.
You say he looked you dead in the eyes. Did that mean he maintained eye contact with you, or his eyes were just dead, void of all emotion?
Both, and he didn't blink.
I see.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Has anybody helped you? And he's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, all right. Well, how long you been standing here? He's like, long enough for it to run down my leg.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, it's soaking into my sock. I'm like, stop telling me this.
Help yourself.
He's like, what should I do? I'm like, go home. Or go change your clothes, go take a shower, go do something. He's like, well, this isn't the first time it's happened.
What?
And I'm like, what do you mean?
no.
Wait, first time tonight?
No. First time it's happened to him.
Oh god.
While working with us.
Okay.
Well, I feel like he'd have a game plan then.
Yeah.
What did you do last time?
Shit himself.
And just waited for somebody to stop by so we could tell.
And that's exactly what he did. So, like, I sent him home. They came back, like, an hour later or something. I forget. But, like, he took the time to kind of explain to me that he's like, I just didn't make it. He's like, I felt it in this area, and I was a couple minutes away from a bathroom, so I drove as fast as I could, but I didn't make it.
This is a real rubber band of an episode.
Yeah. Whew.
How do you handle that?
I will say, I've never... Maybe I just have a fantastic control over my anus.
Mm-hmm.
I've never once... other than that one time I talked about in the podcast where I was super sick.
Mm-hmm. You're dying of fever.
That's the only time I've ever had, like, problem maintaining myself.
Yeah.
You have... this is going to sound weird at first, so bear with me, guys. You have plenty of memories of me fighting the urge to take a shit.
Yes.
Because we just have, like, either I'm too stupid to remember, or, like, we have a Rocket League streak.
He'll forget that he has to go to the restroom.
Oh, yeah. Ooh,
Oh,
damn.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Well, after this game.
No, it's absolutely like that. I'm like, oh man, I'm wiggling. Like, I'm like, can we just gotta get through with like 2 more minutes? Just don't let him score. Scott, don't score. Just let this wind out. And then we end up winning like 12-2 or something. And I'm like, come on, man. There's 7 seconds left and he scores. And by the end of the game, I'm like,
I can
it's
go
not
another
there
one.
anymore.
I can go another one.
So we immediately like queue up for the next game. And then like 3 games later, I'm like, oh, it's back. Scott, I forgot to get
Back
back.
and stronger than
Oh
ever.
my god.
And then it reaches a new level because then I need to stand up.
Yeah.
And so I'm playing the game while standing up, and then I have to run to the bathroom after it ends. So like real fast. And then
You're a degenerate.
If we're talking about all this potty humor, I've got another story for you.
Oh, okay.
Wait. What do you rate
Wait,
mine?
what's the...
Well,
Like a 6.
currently, ours are passive. Mine and Cody's. We can ignore that. Scott's is a story that happened a long time ago, and I don't have to think about that ever again. However, I know you personally, and you just told this story that happened to you. So it's like that you had to interact with. You had to be in that moment, and I do not envy that at all. So currently you're winning. With
Whoa! You
Teacher.
guys can go fuck yourselves.
Teacher.
However, Cody has an actual story now. So we'll see if he gets better than a 9.2.
So I remember the day clearly. It was July 4th,
America.
2020.
Okay.
It's Independence Day.
Oh, that's
We were in the swing of coronavirus.
Yeah, the dead heat. Nobody even knew if you were allowed to even be outside.
You know, I thought you were about to say January 2023. I went up to some old lady's house and gave her back.
Oh, not yet.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know me.
You would have won with that.
Let's not tease this.
I know you.
July 4th, 2020.
Okay.
I am in my apartment, celebrating alone, and my roommate and I decide, hey, let's get drunk. And so it'd been a while since I'd been drunk, so I'm just like pouring vodka into a cup, and I'm like, I'll drink that. And I got a lot drunker, a lot faster than I had intended.
Yeah.
And it kind of all hit me at once. And my MO when I get blackout drunk is to fall asleep in the shower. Just turn the shower on and just fall asleep.
Yes. Oh, wait, is this that night?
It's probably a different night.
Oh my god.
There's a
no.
couple of them.
Like I said, this is what I do.
Okay.
And like I had gotten so drunk that I'm in the bathroom and I'm like, I'm gonna throw up. So I start throwing up into the toilet. And then I have this distinct, foggy shred of a memory of me shitting my pants while I was vomiting. And then I'm like, well, time to get into the shower. And then I get into the shower, and then I black out. And I wake up some number of hours later. Water completely cold.
Yeah.
All out of hot water. And I wake up, get dressed, and get back into bed. And then I'm like, oh, my pants do not have shit in them.
Oh.
A bit of a twist there, wasn't it?
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, I guess I didn't shit my pants.
And your roommate walks in and you're like, no, you shit my pants.
In the morning, I talked to my roommate about it, and she was like, well, I went and got you, like, clean clothes, you know, after you got into the shower, and just threw you the clothes that you had in the laundry. And I'm like, oh no. No. No.
Yes!
And I go to the laundry hamper, and yep,
And you throw them all
my
away.
underpants were full of shit. I did throw them away.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, there's no going back at that point.
I had
Jesus Christ. It's a recursive loop.
Yeah. Not like this.
You gotta stop, Chris. You gotta stop. I can't.
It's like when somebody's vomiting and it triggers your gag reflex, and you're like, no, I need you to stop.
Oh my god. Does he win?
Imagine my confusion.
Also, we always have
Did
this
she
second surge that
strip you?
happens.
No, I took my clothes off
Oh, in the shower.
before I got into the shower.
I honestly just imagine you there fully clothed sitting.
No, what am I, some kind of brute?
Yes. Sitting in cold water. Honestly, we're circling back again. That exact fucking thing happens to Grunt in the Citadel DLC in Mass Effect 3.
And he falls asleep in the shower.
Like, we have a party after you finish... Reapers are killing the planet. We have a party after you finish that, like, story. And, Ralph parties fucking hard. And everybody got fucking crunk. And
He got Grunt.
well, no, Grunt. I'm like, where the fuck is Grunt? Because I went to every phase of the party. I was talking to everybody to hear all the dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, where the fuck is Grunt? And I went upstairs to the bathroom, and he's just like, and the water's just hitting him in the face.
Yeah.
Well, you see, I wouldn't say Cody's story is definitely the funniest. I don't think it is the weirdest, because that's just happens to him. John had to interact with
No,
it.
his roommate also dealt with it.
Yeah. Good roommate.
Yeah.
I mean, Cody gets most funny story. I think John gets weirdest.
I basically blackmailed you into a 9.
Yeah. Yep.
Coercion.
Yeah. So
Oh, man.
I'll accept it. I'll accept last place.
God damn it. No.
There's
no.
part of me that's glad that we just finally captured his Joker laugh into the chain reaction. But at the same time, like, everybody that's listening to this is just going to hear us laughing our ass off
Well, that's the thing.
for like 3 minutes.
That exact thing has happened while John was driving, and we almost died.
It's dangerous, man. Like,
I'm too funny to be in a car with these two.
there is a select handful of noises that just make me laugh every time, and now we've talked about 2 of them. One of them is that horn honking noise, and the other one is Chris's Joker laugh.
And Chris, it's too easy to just set you off. I could just say something mildly entertaining, and you'll fucking freak out. Going for minutes at a time. And John's like, you can't do this. I'm driving, man.
I've quite literally said the words, Chris, you gotta shut up, we're gonna fucking die, man.
The best time that happened was you're driving, we're coming back from like some movie,
Yep.
and like it wasn't that good of a movie, and Scott just like makes a noise and you start laughing, and that gets me laughing, and then I Joker laugh and you start laughing more, and it just
I mean,
Crescendo.
that was really
I
bad.
think the worst night that we ever had with this happening was right after we watched the Fantastic Four remake.
Yeah.
I mean,
Reinforced it.
Chris and I, back and forth, we ping-ponged off of each
man.
other for like literally 25 minutes.
You can tell that was a fun night because we've mentioned it twice in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like,
That
there's not really even a story to tell.
That
No.
might be the hardest I've laughed since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can be funny sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it
I
worked
agree.
out in that night. Well,
That sounds like
So-
a good.
We're at,
Well-
we're at an hour.
You know, one quick thing. I've come to a realization, guys. Hard lefting off of this.
Yeah.
I think I should drink more often.
I don't know. Where are you learning this lesson?
So last night, I've been basically inaugurated into my sister-in-law's side of the family in my brother and sister's marriage. Sister-in-law's marriage. Whoops. And last night was one of her nephew's 21st birthday. So they invited me out. We all went out. There were 11 of us. 2 of us were not old enough to drink, but they're old enough to drive, so they were the designated drivers.
Useful to have around.
Yeah, that's great. That's what kids are really for. Well, that 16 to 18 gap while they're still at home.
16 to 21.
Well, they can go to college.
What do you think the drinking age is?
21. But if they're at college, they can't drive you
Why not?
unless they're nearby.
I mean, they're home. They're there for the party.
We can't assume though.
Birthday.
So, anyways, we were all drinking, having a good time. I was keeping it light, for the most part. Although the birthday kid, once we got back to the house and everything was done at the bar, somebody had this candy cane of Fireball.
Yeah.
And we opened that up, and everybody old enough took a shot.
Candy cane
And
of Fireball.
there was this giant candy cane that had like 30 little Fireball bottles in them.
It was a plastic candy cane.
It was like a Christmas thing. I don't know. But there was like 10 left over. So I'm like, every time I saw that group that was remaining, I would find it, and then I would go find the 21-year-old. And I'd be like, hey, here's one. Here you go. And he'd take it like a fucking champ because he's a college kid now.
Yeah.
So I got him to drink like 7 of those fuckers.
God.
And then like 45 minutes
lot.
later, I'm out there rubbing his back while he's throwing up. But the reason why I say I should drink more is I hung out for a couple hours later, sobered up, only drank water from like midnight to like 2:30 in the morning. And then like drove home, hung out, went to sleep for a little bit, woke up at like 11:30. I got up, brushed my teeth, I took a shower, I read a little bit of your book, I cleaned up my house, I did the dishes, like I went grocery shopping.
Page 9.
And I did all of this stuff. 15.
Oh!
And like I did all of this at like by like 3:00. And then Chris and I talk, and I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna go pick you up as soon as you get off work. And I'm like, this is a fucking productive ass day. There was no double thoughts. There wasn't any like regretful actions or anything. I didn't get up and think, God, my head hurts. I'm gonna play RuneScape until the guys get here. No, it was like, I'm ready to fucking do shit. I didn't even have a hangover. So I think I should drink more often.
Okay.
That is what this suggests.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's
That
the
is
reason.
The lesson to be learned here is that
I'm gonna start drinking right now.
What I really appreciate is on our New Year's episode, your resolution was to get better control of your life.
yeah.
And perplexingly, this seems to have done it.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Letting loose, getting crunk, it tightens up the wheels. You've realigned.
Right?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well,
That was a fun little story.
Yeah. Don't let the weird things in life make you weird.
because you rated our stories, can I rate your corner? Bye, everybody. Bye. See ya.